大家好，我是 Jenny， 欢迎来到沉思者 J。 如果你曾经穿过一件让你忘记自己在穿衣服的衣服，如果你曾经在某个下午看着阳光穿过布料，觉得那一刻美得不像话，那你就已经懂得三宅一生想说的事了。三宅一生这个名字在时尚世界里是一个传说，但他的故事不只是关于衣服，而是关于一个人如何在废墟里找到美的意志。1938年，三宅一生出生在广岛，那是一座美丽的城市，海湾环绕，山林相拥。小一生从小就是个安静的孩子，喜欢观察光影，喜欢研究材料的质地。他的母亲是一个温柔的女人，常常带着他在城市里散步，看河流，看桥梁，看人群。1945年8月6日，一生7岁。那天早上，他正在上学的路上，天空突然一闪，然后是无尽的热浪与黑暗。广岛被原子弹摧毁了，那一瞬间，世界改变了，他的世界也改变了。他的母亲在那次爆炸中受了重伤，3年后去世。一生10岁，他看着母亲在辐射病的折磨中慢慢离去，那重痛是没有语言能描述的。后来有人问他，你怎么能从那样的伤痛中走出来？他说，我选择不去谈它，但我用余生去回答它。这句话成了理解三宅一生一切创作的钥匙。少年一生在废墟的城市里长大，广岛战后重建的过程中，他学会了一件事，美是可以在破碎中诞生的。人类有一种神奇的力量，不是遗忘苦难，而是把苦难炼化成创造的燃料。1959年，21岁的三宅一生进入东京多摩美术大学，主修平面设计。在那里，他开始认真思考一个问题：什么是布料和身体之间的关系？他迷上了日本传统的折纸艺术，迷上了能剧的服装，迷上了普通农民穿的粗棉布工作服。他发现，最美的衣服不是让人看到衣服，而是让人看到穿衣服的人。1965年，他来到巴黎，进入巴黎时装工会学校学习高级定制服。巴黎是时尚的首都，那里的规则是精致，是奢华，是让布料服从人体的每条曲线。但一生看着那些精雕细琢的定制服装，心里有一个声音，这不是我要的。他在巴黎见识了最顶尖的时装世界，然后在心里开始建立一套完全相反的哲学。1968年，巴黎爆发了学生革命，整座城市在抗议声中颤动，年轻人走上街头，冲破旧秩序。三宅一生在这场革命中感受到一种震动，他意识到，时尚也需要一场革命。他去了纽约，在纪梵希和杰弗里·比恩的工作室里工作。他学习西方时尚的技术，但始终保持着东方的眼光。在那段日子里，他越来越清楚自己想做什么。他想做的衣服要让所有人都能穿，不分年龄，不分体型，不分阶级。衣服应该是解放身体的东西，而不是束缚身体的框架。1970年，三宅一生回到日本，在东京创立了自己的品牌。他找来了一群年轻的设计师，带着他们做了一件当时看起来非常疯狂的事。他说，我们来研究一块布，就一块布，看看它能变成什么。这就是后来被称为一块布哲学的起点，日文叫做一枚 nobu， 英文是 a piece of cloth， 简称 APOC。 一生认为，最接近人类本能的穿衣方式，就是把一块布包裹在身体上。希腊的宽袍，日本的和服，印度的纱丽，本质上都是这个概念。布与身体之间的对话，不是裁缝的命令，而是一种协商，一种共舞。1973年，三宅一生在巴黎发表了他的第一个完整系列。时装界看傻了，那些衣服不像任何人看过的东西。有人觉得太过前卫，有人觉得莫名其妙，但也有人看到了一种从未见过的美。他用的是日本传统的刺子绣工艺，是农民工作服的棉布，是竹子编制的纹理，把东方的材料与哲学带进了巴黎的舞台。媒体说， 日本人来了，带着完全不同的宇宙观。1974年，他在东京六本木开设了自己的旗舰店，那间店本身就像一件艺术品，光线设计的像是在剧场里，衣服挂在空间中，像是在飞翔。接下来的几年，三宅一生不断的实验，不断的突破材料的边界。他和纺织师傅合作，研究如何让布料在不同温度下变形，如何让一件衣服有100种穿法，如何让穿的人成为设计的一部分。他说，我不是在设计衣服，我是在设计空间。身体是空间的中心，衣服是身体与外部世界之间的膜。这个概念在时尚界是一场地震。1980年代，三宅一生走向了他最传奇的创作时期。他与摄影师小山即兴合作，拍摄了一系列震撼人心的照片。他邀请了舞踏舞者，让衣服在极端的肢体动作中展示它的可能性。他设计的衣服可以让身体完全自由地移动，没有拉链，没有纽扣，没有任何阻力，就像第二层皮肤。1988年，他推出了一个改变时尚史的系列，叫做 Pleats Please 褶皱的快乐。这个系列的核心技术是把布料先做成衣服的形状，然后夹在纸层之间，放进热压机里，让褶皱永久定型。結果是一件可以机洗，可以揉成一团塞进包包，展开来毫无皱褶，轻盈如羽毛的衣服。Pleats Please 打破了所有关于时装的假设，不需要送干洗店，不需要熨斗，不需要小心翼翼的保养。穿它的人可以全然自在，可以在任何场合出现，可以带着它去旅行世界。这一系列至今还在生产，30多年来从未停止，因为它解决了一个人类最根本的需求：衣服应该让人自由，而不是让人成为衣服的仆人。1993年，三宅一生做了一件让整个时尚界惊讶的事，他邀请了设计师藤原大接手主设计的工作，自己则退到幕后，专注于研究与材料开发。他说，我最不想做的事就是变成一个重复自己的设计师。这种谦逊在以自我为中心的时尚界里几乎是一种异类。藤原大带领品牌继续发展，而三宅一生在幕后开始了他最后也是最深刻的一段探索。2006年，在广岛原爆61周年之际，三宅一生在纽约时报发表了一篇文章，标题是一个广岛人的诉求。这是他一生中第一次公开谈到原爆的记忆。他在文章里说，我不是一个政治人物，我只是一个在那一天失去了母亲的孩子，但我希望世界能记住广岛，不是为了仇恨，而是为了珍惜和平的意志。这篇文章感动了无数人，也让更多人开始理解，为什么三宅一生的设计里有一种别的设计师没有的重量，那是来自真实苦难的重量，也是来自真实爱的重量。他相信美是一种治愈的力量，他相信衣服可以让人感受到被保护、被拥抱、被解放。晚年的三宅一生几乎不公开露面，但他的设计师团队和研究部门持续在运作，持续在探索，持续在问那个他一生都在问的问题：一块布还能做什么？2022年8月5日，三宅一生在东京逝世，享年84岁，死因是肝癌。讣告发出的那一天，全世界的时尚媒体同时静默了一下，然后几乎所有人都说了同一件事：我们失去了一个改变了衣服定义的人。有人在社群媒体上分享了自己第一次穿到三宅一生的衣服的记忆，有人说是在中古衣店找到的，有人说是妈妈的旧衣，有人说是一个朋友送的礼物，但几乎所有人都说了同样的感觉：穿上去的那一瞬间，身体放松了，好像终于可以做自己了。这就是三宅一生给这个世界的礼物，不是艺术品，虽然他的作品确实是艺术品，而是一种关于身体自由的哲学，一种让普通人也能感受到美的方式。他从废墟出发，用布料建造了一个充满诗意的世界。他说过一句话：我想做的不是设计，而是探索。 探索布料的可能性，探索身体的可能性，探索人与空间之间的可能性。在他的一生里，他从没有停止探索。广岛的那个7岁男孩，看着城市燃烧，看着母亲慢慢消逝，选择了用美来回答苦难。他做到了。每一件Please 的百褶裙，每一件 APOC 的针织筒裙，每一件让身体自由飞翔的衣裳，都是他给这个世界的情书，都是他用7岁的眼睛在废墟中看见的那一缕光。谢谢你，三宅一生，谢谢你让我们知道，美是有勇气的，美是可以治愈的，美是每一个人都值得拥有的。我们下次见咯。Hello everyone, I'm Jenny. Welcome to Thinker J. Have you ever worn a piece of clothing that made you forget you were wearing anything at all? Have you ever sat in a quiet afternoon, watching sunlight pass through fabric, and thought, this moment is almost too beautiful to believe? If you have, then you already understand what Issey Miyake spent his life trying to say. Issey Miyake. This name is a legend in the world of fashion. But his story is not only about clothing. It is about a human being who chose to answer suffering with beauty. In 1938, Issey Miyake was born in Hiroshima, a beautiful city, cradled by a bay, surrounded by gentle hills. Young Issey was a quiet child. He loved watching the way light moved. He loved touching different textures. His mother was a gentle woman. She would take him on long walks through the city, to see the rivers, to see the bridges, to watch the people. Then came August 6, 1945. Issey was 7 years old. He was walking to school that morning. The sky flashed. Then came the heat. Then the darkness. Hiroshima was destroyed by an atomic bomb. In that single moment, the world changed. His world changed forever. His mother was gravely injured in the blast. She died 3 years later. Issey was 10 years old. He watched her suffer and fade, worn down by radiation sickness. The grief was beyond words. Years later someone asked him, "How did you find a way forward after such loss?" He said, "I chose not to speak about it. But I spent the rest of my life answering it." That one sentence becomes the key to understanding everything Issey Miyake ever created. Young Issey grew up in a city rebuilding itself from ashes. And in that process of rebuilding, he learned something essential. Beauty can be born inside brokenness. Human beings have a remarkable power, not to forget pain, but to transform it into fuel for creation. In 1959, the 21-year-old Miyake entered Tama Art University in Tokyo. He studied graphic design, and there he began wrestling seriously with a question. What is the relationship between fabric and the human body? He became fascinated by the Japanese art of origami, by the layered costumes of no theater, by the rough cotton work clothes of ordinary farmers. He noticed something. The most beautiful clothing does not draw attention to itself. It draws attention to the person wearing it. In 1965, he moved to Paris. He enrolled at the Chambre syndicale de la couture parisienne, the highest temple of haute couture. Paris was the capital of fashion. Its rules were precision, luxury, the perfect submission of fabric to every curve of the human body. But watching those meticulously crafted garments, something in Miyake resisted. A quiet voice said, "This is not what I am looking for." He immersed himself in the world of Parisian couture, and then began building an entirely opposite philosophy inside his mind. In 1968, Paris erupted. Students flooded the streets, demanding an end to old orders. Miyake felt something move in him during that revolution. He understood. Fashion needed its own revolution. He left for New York. He worked in the studios of Givenchy and Jeffrey Bean. He absorbed the technical mastery of Western fashion, but always kept an Eastern eye. And during those years, his vision became sharper and clearer. The clothing he wanted to make would be for everyone, regardless of age, regardless of body shape, regardless of social class. Clothing should liberate the body, not imprison it. In 1970, Issey Miyake returned to Japan. He founded his own label in Tokyo. He gathered a team of young designers, and together they did something that seemed wildly eccentric at the time. He said, "Let us study a single piece of cloth, just one piece, and see what it can become." This became the origin of what would later be called his foundational philosophy. In Japanese it is known as ippon no nuno. In English it is called a piece of cloth. Eventually it became the basis for his concept called APOC. Miyake believed. The most instinctive way human beings have always dressed is to wrap a piece of cloth around the body. The toga of ancient Greece, the kimono of Japan, the sari of India. These are all the same essential idea. A conversation between cloth and body. Not the tailor commanding the fabric, but a kind of negotiation, a dance between the two. In 1973, Miyake presented his first complete collection in Paris. The fashion world stopped and stared. Those garments looked like nothing anyone had seen before. Some people found them too strange. Some people found them bewildering. But some people saw a beauty they had never encountered before. He worked with traditional Japanese sashiko embroidery, with rough cotton from farmers' work clothes, with textures inspired by bamboo weaving, bringing Eastern materials and Eastern philosophy onto the Parisian stage. The press said, "The Japanese have arrived with a completely different cosmology." In 1974, he opened his flagship store in Roppongi, Tokyo. The space itself was like an artwork. Light was designed as if for a theater stage. Garments floated in the space, as if they were mid-flight. Over the following years, Miyake continued to experiment, relentlessly pushing the boundaries of what fabric could do. He worked alongside textile artisans, studying how cloth could be transformed under different temperatures, how a single garment could be worn 100 different ways, how the wearer could become a participant in the design itself. He said, "I am not designing clothing. I am designing space. The body is the center of that space, and clothing is the membrane between the body and the outside world." This idea was an earthquake in the world of fashion. The 1980s brought Miyake into his most legendary creative period. He collaborated with the photographer Kishin Shinoyama to create a series of images that stunned the world. He invited buto dancers and let clothing reveal its full range of possibilities through extreme physical movement. His garments allowed the body to move in complete freedom. No zippers, no buttons, no resistance. Like a second skin. In 1988, he launched a line that would change fashion history. It was called Pleats Please. The central technology of this line was to first form fabric into the shape of a garment, then sandwich it between layers of paper, then press it in a heat machine, so that the pleats became permanent. The result was a garment that could be machine washed, crumpled into a ball and stuffed into a bag, then shaken out to reveal absolutely no wrinkles. Light as a feather, ready to wear. Pleats Please shattered every assumption about fashion. No dry cleaner needed. No iron required. No anxious care and maintenance. The person wearing it could be completely at ease, could appear in any setting, could carry it across the world. This line has been in continuous production for more than 30 years. Because it solves one of the most fundamental human needs. Clothing should give people freedom, not make them servants of the garment. In 1993, Miyake did something that surprised the entire fashion world. He invited designer Dai Fujiwara to take over the principal design responsibilities, while he himself stepped back to focus on research and material exploration. He said, "The last thing I want to become is a designer who only repeats himself." This kind of humility, in a world as ego-driven as high fashion, made him almost a different species entirely. Dai Fujiwara led the brand forward, while Miyake worked quietly behind the scenes, beginning the deepest and most personal chapter of his exploration. In 2006, 61 years after the bombing of Hiroshima, Issey Miyake published an essay in the New York Times. The title was, "A Bomb Survivor Thinks About Hiroshima." This was the first time in his life he had ever spoken publicly about what he witnessed as a child. In that essay he wrote, "I am not a politician. I am simply a child who lost his mother on that day. But I hope the world will remember Hiroshima, not as a reason for hatred, but as a reason to protect peace." That essay moved countless people, and helped the world understand why there is a weight in Miyake's designs that other designers do not carry. It is the weight of real sorrow, and the weight of real love. He believed that beauty is a healing force. He believed that clothing could make people feel protected, embraced, liberated. In his later years, Miyake rarely appeared in public, but his design team and research studio never stopped working, never stopped exploring, never stopped asking the question he had spent his whole life asking: what more can a single piece of cloth become? On August 5, 2022, Issey Miyake passed away in Tokyo. He was 84 years old. The cause was liver cancer. When the news was announced, Fashion media around the world went quiet for a moment. Then almost everyone said the same thing. We have lost the person who changed the definition of clothing itself. People shared memories on social media of the first time they ever wore an Issey Miyake garment. Someone found theirs in a vintage store. Someone else inherited theirs from a mother. Another received one as a gift from a dear friend. But almost everyone described the same sensation. The moment they put it on, something in their body relaxed, as if they had finally been given permission to be themselves. That is the gift Issey Miyake left to this world. Not art objects, though his work undeniably is art, but a philosophy of bodily freedom. A way of letting ordinary people feel that beauty belongs to them. He began in the ruins of a city, and built a world made of poetry and cloth. He once said, "What I want to do is not design. It is exploration. Exploring what fabric can do. Exploring what the body can do. Exploring what becomes possible in the space between a person and the world." He never stopped exploring. Not for a single year of his life. That 7-year-old boy in Hiroshima, who watched a city burn, who watched his mother slowly disappear, chose to answer suffering with beauty. And he succeeded. Every pleated skirt from Pleats Please. Every tubular knit piece from APOC. Every garment that let the human body move and breathe and fly, was a love letter to this world. Written with the eyes of a 7-year-old child, who saw a thread of light, reaching through the ruins. Thank you, Issey Miyake. Thank you for showing us that beauty takes courage. That beauty can heal. That beauty belongs to every single one of us. See you next time.